And we are live. Welcome to NBA Live Before Lock, Thursday, December 11th. Still another light slate in the NBA, just 4 games, 3 of which lock at 8 o'clock. Now, we are going up until 7:30, at which point we are turning it over to NFL Live Before Lock because we've got Thursday Night Football tonight, but we've also got 3 games locking at 8 and a Denver Nuggets Sacramento Kings game locking at 10. So, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow us both on Twitter, us both being me, Josh Engleman, and him, Eric Lindquist. Say hi to him. What's going on, man?
Not much, just ready to rock for this one. We double up our allotment of games, which I guess is somewhat useful, but obviously there is a massive chalk piece that is just kind of waiting in the wings. We're also only going an hour here, so we're not going all the way up till lock, because we've got Live Before Lock for NFL going on. So this is kind of a stress-free one for you and me, where any news that breaks that last 30 minutes, I guess we're not completely responsible for. But I will definitely be in the Discord over in NBA DFS over on Stokastic. So if you guys are in there and anything does break, I'll be able to kind of break it down, just because, well, Robert Williams is 57% owned and questionable. That seems interesting.
Yeah, let's have the conversation. Let's just start there. Time Lord, a.k.a. Robert Williams. I guess it should be Robert Williams, a.k.a. Time Lord, but whatever. Center eligible, 4,900. And as you mentioned, questionable, because we do not have Donovan Clingan for the Portland Trailblazers. We did not have Robert Williams in Portland's last matchup. The last time we saw him was 2 games ago. He got the start and played 30 minutes. Now, if we got Robert Williams to get a start and play 30 minutes, he'd be more than 44% owned. That said, I have no idea if he's going to play. I have no idea if he's going to get 30 minutes again. Feels like a no, but you never know. I don't love this, but if he's in, I think you just have to let it rip.
Yep. That's the way that I feel about it. I mean, if he's in, you let it rip. And also, if he's out, you've also got the ability, because it's everything locking at the same time there, where you're going to be able to get to, Yang Hansen, Hansen Yang. You'll be able to get to Duop Reith. You'll be able to get to whatever else is there that we could potentially be clicking on. So with Clingan already out, I mean, it's pretty clear we're going to get to something here, but Robert Williams is definitely the guy that at 4,900, you feel the absolute complete best about the minutes. You feel absolutely complete best about the production. The fact that 30 minutes is even on the board now is such a good feeling. But I mean, I just jammed Zach Edey from a betting perspective. I was traveling and I thought Zach Edey was going to destroy Yang Hansen. I just absolutely eviscerate him. And then massive foul trouble. Like, the foul trouble beyond foul trouble occurred, and he fouls out in less than 22 minutes of play. It was painful, but there's enough there between him and Reith where if you get Robert Williams out, I think we're just probably playing a lot of lineups. It kind of turns into the Tristan Vucevic and Marvin Bagley thing of days of yore, right? Like, obviously not as intriguing because you're not guaranteed to get 48 minutes of them, but they're so cheap that I feel like we'd still have to be going that direction.
19 minutes from Yang Hansen in the start last time out. 19 minutes from Duop Reith off the bench. That's 38. Now, obviously, either one of them can get to 24 or something in this conversation, and all of a sudden you're feeling pretty good. We'll be very nervous to take either one of those guys. I'd be very nervous to take whichever one is coming off the bench.
Right.
At least you feel a little bit better going to the starter, I think. But like, no matter what happens here, they're not going to look as good as Robert Williams does if he's just in, I think.
Correct. You would hope so. Good Lord. There's definitely that. I guess the question becomes, what are the lineups that don't include either one of them at center? Like, who plays the 5 primarily? Like, looking at that last game for Memphis, there are ways that they just kind of go to Jeremy Grant for little stints as the 5, playing alongside Chris Murray. And Derek Queen has been playing the 4 at times. So, like, it's not some 7'1" massive center. I mean, he's been very, very effective in the post, but like Derek Queen, you don't need to have a true center out there against him, I suppose. So maybe that makes it a little bit easier to kind of look at the board and say, all right, we could get away from whomever is the starter there, but like Duop Reese still played 19 minutes in that spot. Hansen still played 19 minutes, 38, 48 total there. It feels as though they're already like one of them is probably all right to take shots on. Like, I doubt they want to play Robert Williams 30 minutes again. Do we agree on that too? Like, that was very much Duren based.
Yeah, for sure. Hansen 3,600 now. Re 3,300. I would like that a lot more if those prices, well, if the 3,600 was slightly cheaper. But yeah, if Yang Hansen gets the start again, I think he's probably the name you try to click on. I think Reith just becomes scary.
Yep.
Do you think he's playing? I feel like he's playing. Time Lord, that is.
Yeah, I do. And so that will, again, I feel like it's always good to talk through these scenarios on like what could or couldn't happen for it, especially when it's the most popular play on the entire slate. I've got 80% of him in my first run. We'll see what happens coming up next. But yeah, Robert Williams is a very important talking point. And if he ends up out, I don't want anybody to panic. I also hate to say it, but I'm probably going to play a lot of those two guys. 36, 3,300. I don't know. Even though it's at 19 each there's probably a path to me playing more of them than I probably should, but I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it because I'll be able to do it after we get off of the show. But Robert Williams, rightfully, I think the second best play of the entire slate, because I think there's a guy in Nick Clifford that I probably am not going to be getting away from in any way, like almost every lineup.
Do it. 3,500, small forward, power forward. And we got word earlier today that he's going to be getting the start in place of Zach LaVine, who is out. Man, they hate Keon Ellis. But talk to me about Clifford here, because that MPE and that price tag, very valuable, especially on a slate with a $12,900 Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's access to Jokic. It's access to be able to get to things that I don't have to dip into the Jonas Valanciunas side of the pond all that much. I think he's still viable on this slate, still somebody that you can definitely get to. But I think Clifford right now, it's slate exposure, which is always a good thing. Man, they hate Keon Ellis. That is absolutely true. But feels like the minutes are going to be pretty secure for him if he's going to be walking into a starting role. And like, he's gotten to 33 minutes. That's been the high point of his entire year. That was way, way earlier with a lot of guys hurt there. What was it? November 5th. So looking at Nick Clifford, just playing him at shooting guard, playing him at small forward, power forward, having the ability to kind of rotate him around 4 different lineup spots. Just look at the position. The position is just absolute garbage beyond garbage there. We've got Jeremy Grant pulling tons of ownership, understandable. Denny, Avdija, point guard, small forward, always fun to be seeing those guys in your life. But otherwise, like, you're playing just like a ton of Portland. And this is one dude who just kind of fits in easily. We don't even have him projected all that well. 0.72 fantasy points per minute, 27 minutes. And yet, no matter what I do, I just like him, not even as a placeholder, just a dude who just shows up at 3,500, gives me access to Jaylen Brown, who I think is kind of interesting and a little bit lower owned at 9,900. Okay. And Nikola Jokic. Like, I really like the idea of both of them on this slate. So that's my path as a $3,500 piece that if you're not playing Jonas Valanciunas or those two cheap Portland centers, if Robert Williams isn't there, there's not a lot down there. Like Josh Minot is pulling some ownership as a cheapie. We've got pretty much nothing else that is sub 4K that's remotely interesting. Precious Achiuwa becomes interesting on this slate just as like another Sacramento guy that could potentially walk into a couple more minutes because there's a lot of usage available, obviously without Zach LaVine too. But Clifford, I am just jamming right now.
I have 10%.
Yuck.
And I did not think that was going to be the case based on just seeing his price, seeing how he graded out, seeing the MPE. But I'm oddly light on him. I'm less oddly light on Keon Ellis at this moment with, I guess, the hope that he does get real minutes off the bench. That will probably go away over the next half hour, if I had to guess. We saw Ellis get 15 minutes last time out off the bench. He got to 20 3 games ago. I'm just nervous about all of it here. Because, like, Clifford moving into the starting lineup, having the MP, it's like, yeah, you know, he clearly looks like a great value for today. Is playing with Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan like super duper helpful for him? I don't know. This is Keegan Murray's team, allegedly. I'm nervous that he just becomes a ghost out there.
Who's the most valuable player on the Sacramento Kings right now?
Like, are you asking like who's the best player?
Not even who's the best player. Who's the most valuable? It's got to be Keegan Murray, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm in agreement that, you know, if they want to call it his team or doing whatever, I mean, they're terrible, but Keegan Murray's definitely the asset of the entire team.
He's the only one.
He's it,
I think.
I mean, if
like
you're trying to win a
Sabonis is good.
Today, yep.
Like Domantas Sabonis is unequivocally like infinitely better than Keegan Murray, but
yes,
Keegan Murray is the asset of this team.
Correct.
And then there's a lot of ass on this team for the rest of it. That's for sure.
Assets. Yeah, that's nice.
So
see what you did there.
We touched on Time Lord, who's at the top of the list from an ownership perspective. There's somebody else that's getting quite a bit of ownership, and he's at 9,700 today. That is point guard, small forward Denny Avdija. And just to get it out there right now, I like him more than the ownership. That positionality is huge on a slate like today. To be able to move him between guard and forward and in a matchup against New Orleans, I didn't think a $9,700 Denny Avdija could ever, I could look at that and think like, yeah, I'm in. Now we're light on him in this top 150 here. I'm more interested because of that position.
Yeah. And I mean, he's doing absolutely everything for this basketball team at the moment. I mean, there's no doubt that he's outperformed anything. I mean, Washington is just an abysmal franchise in general, but Denny Avdija, yeah, I'm extremely impressed by what he's capable of doing out there as a facilitator too. It's kind of
he's shooting a million free throws a night. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
like
I saw a couple of things.
All he does is shoot free throws.
Last game, and they were losing their minds because he had like 15 a night for a while.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he had 23 against Oklahoma City. Okay,
dude, it's all he's doing.
This is wild. Yeah. Hey,
it's all he's doing. He's second in the league behind Shea, and he's 8 back of Shea.
That's absurd.
Yeah. Only 3 guys are over 200. It's him, Shea, and Luka.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's legitimately wild. And for a guy who had 3 free throws against Memphis, they got the doors just completely blown off of them, which again was not helpful to me and my Zach Edey stand, because I felt like they were going to just annihilate them on the interior, and they did, just with foul trouble. So whatever. But Denny Avdija, I don't mind it. I'm at the
You're
field.
preferring Jaylen Brown.
I am. I love Jaylen Brown as a pivot for this specific spot. Again, people just forget Jason Tatum is not there, and they're 9.5 10-point favorites against Milwaukee. This is a spot where he's going a little bit under the radar because the price tag is just, it's eye popping now. He is 9,900, but you brought up the positionality. You brought up, I brought up the ownership, the fact that he's already at like, a pretty hefty number, like gigantic number. I think it's one of the easiest things you can do to trim off some ownership is making more of a stand on the Jaylen Brown side of things. He's also doing absolutely everything for this basketball team. I mean, it's absurd. And I love seeing the assist rate kind of starting to come up to a place where like we can kind of go through the ebbs and flows. Obviously we're trying to win tournaments, so we do want everything to be locked in at the same time. But like for $200 more, And with how many other Portland Trailblazers I'm getting to, I think it's kind of an easy slide over to just take some of that Denny Avdija ownership, make it Jaylen Brown. I've got just short of 30% of him. I just think he's wildly underrepresented at 8% right now, 8% in ownership. And I'm looking around the industry. It's kind of holding firm at that number. And if that's the case, he's the spend up I kind of like to get to that becomes a little bit more interesting relative to other guys. I mean, nobody's playing Şengün today. Your boy, it's a very difficult spot. And I'm curious what you think about him, what you think about Harden in that same spot as well. But like, yeah, Jaylen Brown, I get it. He's expensive, but he deserves to be.
I like your shout. Given that ownership number, given where Avdija is, I mean, you could see it on the screen right now. Like, that's a 5% gap in player sim ROI. I think there's something to be said about that. I think Avdija is getting steamed a little bit because he fits in so easily. I think that makes Jaylen Brown look more interesting. Obviously, the Şengün piece in this price range is a little bit harder. We haven't had the conversation yet, though. Decent spot for Nikola Jokic against Sacramento. Oh, no. What is it? Oh, my God. I guess something's wrong with Yang Hansen's face. He's out. Okay.
You saw the other one too, right?
No.
Robert Williams out.
Oh, I didn't know it. I only got the Yang Hansen pop up. There it is. Time Lord out. No, I got the Yang one. Now I see it. Okay. So Dwap Reith season.
I mean, is he 100% guy in the starting lineup?
He has to be, right?
Yep.
No matter how much they hate him, here's what they have today. Javonte Cook is 6'6". Ryan Rupert's 6'7", 205. Reith is 6'9", 204. Or sorry, 245. Caleb Love, 6'3". Shaedon Sharp, 6'5". Chris Murray, 6'8", 218. Obviously, the rest of the starters. I mean, they're going to be going to a lot of Grant/Kamara at 5. I mean, realistically, Reith has to play 24 minutes, just kind of like by default-ish, 20 minutes by default.
Yeah. I just went on Profit X here, too. I also just bet Derek Queen rebounds. This same kind of deal that I just did with, I mean, this is just going to be Portland trying to skirt around the fact that they don't want to play too much for however long, and they're just forced to. And Derek Queen should just absolutely smash from a rebound. Like, this whole team should smash from a rebounding perspective. But I mean, Denny triple-double looks pretty interesting too. I mean, that's like your primary guy down there as well, just getting shit done. But this is a wild run out.
So best I could tell, they have 10 guys.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This is brutal.
I mean, Jeremy Grant at the 5 is at least, I mean, they're going to have to do that. Denny at the 5 is basically a thing too. Nice for him to have point guard, small forward, and he's probably going to play some center today.
I'm rerunning as quickly as I can here to see what I like for Reith. I gave him 22 minutes just quickly. Didn't really look at anything else. Just want to see what it looks like when it's finished. Threw some random minutes to like Javonte Cook and Ryan Rupert. Not that they matter. Haven't touched Grant or anything. I don't want to think about it like that. I just want to see what does 22 minutes do for Reith. 6x. 9 points, 4.5 boards, an assist, a stock and a half. Close to a stock and a half. 19.8 fantasy points. Probably the best. I mean, he's going to be the best point per dollar play, I would guess. Assuming we go anywhere in that 22-minute range.
We had him in like a 0.82 rate. He's been like a 0.9 guy. It's going to be very difficult if he starts. Which I just don't see a planet where you don't start him, right? They have 3 centers that otherwise would play, and they're all out. And how tall is City Sissoko? I feel like I see him on the floor and I don't pay attention to like his height. How tall is he?
He's 6'6".
Fuck.
Technically the shortest guy in the starting lineup.
And he's the guy who's like technically playing 4 or 5 here in some spots. This is just insane. All right.
Whew.
Well, I guess the question on FanDuel becomes like opportunity cost of, because we can play 2 centers over on DK. Jokic is your opportunity cost at center as opposed to playing Duop Reith at 3,600. That's such an interesting tournament deal to be looking at. Jokic or Duop Reith? Do I want the 24-minute guy?
Jokic is 75 or Reith 30.
I know, but Duop is going to pull up. Like, center is going to be abandoned besides those 2 on FanDuel. Like, they are going to be your only 2 center options, like, period. Zubats is going to be unowned. Keita is going to be unowned. Reynaud, who everybody loved to play, nobody's going to love to play him today because he's going to be unowned. I mean, this is just going to be stupid, Josh. We might see like 50 and 45 as like your center ownership between these 2 guys.
It's going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely massive.
Oh man.
I mean, do we want to have we were about to get into a conversation about Nikola Jokic here, 12-9 center. Now we have center value in Duop Reith, but we also have a guy in Nikola Jokic that's projected for 15 more points than anybody else on the slate. He's at 66. Denny's at 51 and change. This is an exercise. Oh, not to mention, and we shouldn't even bury the lead here. This is Nikola Jokic against the garbage shit Sacramento Kings, a wispy Frenchman, and nothing behind him.
Correct.
I mean, they cannot guard him. They have no mechanism to do so. It's not like they're going to throw a double at him. What are you going to do there? Boink.
Yeah, leave
open shot. Doink. Open shot. By the way, I love Cam Johnson today.
Oh, you do? Okay. Because Cam Johnson's starting to show life a little bit, and he's going to be able to this was like a perfect landing spot. And did it start off beautifully? No. Is the usage there the way you'd want it to be? No. Does it matter when he's still only 5,300? He was like 5,800 a week ago, and there were times where I'm like, do I pull the trigger here? No. And you could always kind of find a reason not to. I'm kind of with you. He's the guy that he plays so many minutes that at some point we're going to get another Inferno game. He went completely Inferno against the Spurs. That's about it. But he's still not killing you in a lot of these spots. And the ownership is just way lower than it should be routinely. Feels like double dutch on the playground. I keep figuring out when to jump in on Cam Johnson. And I haven't done it yet, but this is certainly a spot where you could definitely see it. And I don't hate that whatsoever.
Current projected starting lineup, not Duop Reith, Chris Murray.
No. Don't do that to me. Rich, don't do that to me. I mean, they just hate Duop Reith. We know that. There's been so many slates in days of yore where it's just Duop Reith can't fail. Duop Reith fails, but if he starts,
he has to play more than 19 minutes, right? If he gets 19 minutes in a game that has no Time Lord but does have Hansen, he has to get more than 19 minutes in a game that also now has no Hansen, right?
Yeah, you would think, but I also bet Derek Queen rebounds just in case. So we'll see.
Either way, I don't think it matters. I think it's smart.
Yeah, I don't see anything here. I mean, Evis Missy also sitting at 4.5 here. I'm not going to do that. That's
Speaking of centers, teams don't like.
Yeah, they really. Well, they go through phases with him. They're like, well, this could be cute. And now, greater logic wins out. Let's play the young guy who can do a lot on a basketball floor. That seems like a good idea. But yeah, Jesus, I don't know what to do other than just if Reith does not start, I'm probably still going to play a lot, aren't you?
Yes.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm fine being wrong here. Mostly because I already wasn't getting Nikola Jokic. So if I'm already not getting Jokic, I'd rather roll the dice there on him getting minutes off the bench. Like any foul trouble probably puts him out there faster than you want. Like there's just so many ways for him to get a couple extra, to get slightly more than 19. And slightly more than 19 is enough to make him the best value play on the slate.
Agreed. Good Lord.
We'll see what it ends up looking like once we, have full updates here. Chris Murray, shooting guard, small forward, 4K is certainly more interesting than he was 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, big time. I just, I don't have words for what happens here if they just don't start a center, period. I mean, Jeremy Grant at the 5. This is definitely going to be fascinating. But yeah, getting both of them out. Again, I'm glad that we talked about it ahead of time. It's not like anything surprising here, but I'll probably, no matter what, be playing a lot of Duop Reith. And, probably better for us at this point in time that he doesn't start, now that I'm thinking through it, but whatever.
So, Jeremy Grant was already projected for like 4th or 5th in ownership. We now redistribute Time Lord. Denny was essentially the chalk. Shaden Sharp, 30% owned off the bench right now. We also have this giant pack of ownership coming into Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk. In that group of dudes that are getting all of this like 30-ish% ownership, how are you feeling about it? Is this Westbrook revenge narrative, Denver, DeRozan against Denver, Monk off the bench, no idea how much he plays? Like, this is wild at the top today.
Yeah, it's wild, but it's also a spot where I don't even know if I have a stand, which again, people tune into these shows and they want me to have an opinion. And a lot of times I have an opinion, Josh, but like, I think the Sims are just naturally getting you a lot of Russell Westbrook. They're naturally getting you a lot of Jeremy Grant, and I'm fine with those. The one that I guess I feel the most uncomfortable about is Kevin Porter Jr. Because is he just going to be this guy for this team? And are we all right spending $1 bajillion to get to 7,600 point guard only Kevin Porter Jr.? My brain, I mean, you just look at the box scores and you see the last 4. It's like, oh, you can't miss, but it's Kevin Porter Jr. And, I feel as though he's the guy that I just have to just naturally maybe be lower on, but I don't really have a stand per se. I just have an opinion. I have an opinion that is Kevin Porter Jr. I have too much of him in my lineups. I shouldn't have 40% Kevin Porter Jr. on this slate with other dudes showing up. What's that look for?
Do you think 40 is a lot?
How much do you have?
Well, if 40 is a lot to you, does 65 ring differently?
And I'm playing, I played everything today. I maxed out everything just because I know I won't be on the show after lock. And so I do care a lot about this slate. I'm very much invested in figuring out what I want to do here after the fact and his ownership updates. But like, Kevin Porter Jr. is very, very popular. And I feel very confident in Russell Westbrook, no matter what, finding minutes and opportunity and points. I feel less so about Kevin Porter Jr. And Jordan Poole's available to play. So fun. Welcome back. Nobody cared.
Yeah. Hardly missed you. So the Sacramento Kings are a bit of a problem for me. I have equally as much of DeMar DeRozan as I have of Kevin Porter Jr. I can't really think of 2 guys in the league I would want less. Like from a personal, I like the way these guys play basketball standpoint. I mentioned having a skosh of Keon Ellis with the hope that I get some of that value right. That probably changes up a little bit now because of Reith. But I'm still getting to Malik Monk with no issue. I've got a decent chunk of this Sacramento team. Yep, that's tomorrow. which concerns me a bit. But we have not yet talked about the guy that I have the most of for today. And while he's a great basketball player, I don't think you'd land on this name. And it's going to change now. So I'm kind of giving it to you.
Well,
Zoo.
yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way. No, you
Way.
don't.
Way.
What?
Yeah. Tons of Zoo today.
Okay.
You looked at his price?
Yeah.
7,200.
He
was
not
8K
exactly
a week
the
ago.
best spot. Okay.
No, not exactly the best spot. Not a great spot in any way.
38
Terrible
minutes
spot.
against Minnie. No real
Terrible
minutes coming in for Brook Lopez whatsoever. Like out of the
He
rotation.
gonna be out there.
So,
He gonna be out there. Terrible rebounding matchup, obviously.
yeah. You get Jabari Smith and Şengün, and it's just difficult there. But I mean, John Collins has been playing or he had been doing the backup 5 thing. Brook Lopez was completely out of the rotation. Played 10 minutes last time out, but like that ended up being just a true split of the center minutes. So yeah, I get it.
Doesn't strike me as a game that Zubats plays less, right?
But you have the most of Zoo, so you're just bypassing Jokic in some capacity then, because we're going to get
now, again, this is going to change. Like, this was pre-Reith having that, like, so he's not going to be most, but I'm going to be well over the field on Zubats today. I think he's just going to be out there a ton. And on this slate, with the way that center looks, like, that might be enough. It's not like I'm worried about Joval, Kate, like, not that Kate can't be good, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Queen's obviously interesting, but he can go into power forward. But Portis, Collins, you know, like Şengün 9,600, but just coming back, like, what is he today? Miles Turner's been a ghost as of late. Reynaud's already priced properly. Zoo's like the one guy I don't have any questions about. Bang.
Well,
projections and ownership updated. Shout out our boy Rich.
Well, yeah, Zoo. I love Zoo because, you know, twice there's a 100K day for me and a 50K day that are almost solely responsible from like 55 burgers from Zubats as like a last piece remaining. Like, I love this man. He might be one of my favorite players in the NBA purely because of what he's done for me financially. I have 0% right now, so that doesn't feel good. I get your logic. I really like the process of it. It's just a position that is pretty difficult now when I look at what I'm doing with Jokic, which is just tons. And obviously I'm playing as much Clifford as I am, playing as much of these Portland value pieces, whether that's Chris Murray, Sissoko, like getting to a number of these dudes, Jeremy Grant in the mid-range, I suppose, and Duop Reith. Like, there's just not a lot of center for me left. Thank God Derek Queen has power forward eligibility as I'm working through this, but he's got power forward eligibility on FanDuel where he's 7,300. That's not nearly as appealing to me, but looking at him sub 7K, I'm probably going to get to more than the field of him when it's all said and done. I think there's some other power forwards that are kind of interesting for today's slate that we'll get to. Talk about Precious Achiuwa for 2 seconds. I think he's fascinating, but
we've got our update. Duop Reith, center, 3,300. 47 projected ownership in the pool on the first pool that I have generated since we got the updates. Top 150 lineups gets you 63.
Wow. Yep. Looks like me. Full on jam.
Corey Shea
he doesn't start.
Corey Shea hit us with a super chat. I wanted to get this out there for him. Guard with the best ceiling, 6,400 and under.
I can tell you in a second here. I'm
pulling up what we have here.
My fears goes out the window with pool back.
It's got to be Monk, right? But he's so much below 6,400.
Yeah,
that, like, realistically, it becomes Kamara. No, no. For me, this is easy. It's Cam Johnson. If you don't have anything to do with like all of that Monk money.
Agreed. That's kind of who I was going to circle and bring up, was getting to the Cam Johnson piece. If you haven't, but yes, you need to make that money work for you somewhere else in the lineup. That'd be way too much to leave on, but it's kind of a ghost land until you get to those two. There's really nothing that is all that appealing. We have some cheap guards. I mean, you brought Keon Ellis up. There's some guys that we can take shots on that are way down there as well that I think have much higher ceilings than their price tags. Malik Monk, obviously, but Cam Johnson, I have more interest in playing than Jeremiah Fears. What's your Tamani Kamara feeling in this spot as well? Because, like, I don't know. It feels like, I mean, I guess
he's going to play more probably, right?
Guard on DK. Yeah, I would say Tamani Kamara if you're trying to keep it somewhat close to that salary number, but I really don't love him amongst some of these other Portland pieces. We're pretty much undercutting him in my first run of the Sims, like, entirely, and I just ran it standard, so like 6%. I ended up getting, let's see, of Tamani Kamara. So yeah, well, I'll stick with Cam Johnson.
Okay. Since we're working our way through these top plays at each position, since we're already kind of talking about these individual positions, point guard, no one is owned more than Denny Avdija. You can also roster him at small forward, but he is the best of one of those two positions. Your alternatives at the point guard spot, I think, would be either Kevin Porter Jr. or Westbrook. Do you have a lean between those two?
Westbrook.
Shooting guard, by all accounts, is Shaden Sharp. He's 12% more owned than anybody else at the shooting guard spot.
And he should be. That is your answer.
If you didn't want the answer of Denny earlier, the answer is Denny here. If it's not Denny for you at small forward, it would then be Jeremy Grant, who is the unequivocal answer at power forward. Although I do find Derek Queen to be interesting just given the setup here, but Grant is 2xing him in ownership. And then at center, the answer is Dwop Reith. The second most owned center right now is Joval.
Good Lord Almighty. Yep.
Oof.
Yep. That's how I feel. Jonas Valanciunas. That is wild to see how much we're getting of him there. And then Jokic, that ownership's still pretty light considering we're getting a 3,300 piece into the mix in 63% of lineups.
I don't believe that I have Jokic.
Okay.
I still have a lot of Zubats, but not the most of Zubats. So that feels a little bit better.
Good.
I'm trying to upload now just to get these placeholders and then look at my exposures. All right, we're in. Okay, we're in. Cool. No way Jokic going to be almost 40% now, huh?
No, he will not be. There's no chance that he will be.
No. I mean, made it harder to roster him, not easier.
Yeah. You add a center into a bajillion lineups, and now we can spend that money around other places. And the utility, you have to compare Jokic to every other player on the slate, whereas, before it was just centers. A little bit different.
Before we go any further, it's time for me to mention that AJ Green is out.
Great.
That's not what I was about to do, but it's what happened when I looked down at my watch.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay, so AJ Green missed their last game. Jericho Sims got the start. Sims has played 31, 30, and 30 minutes in their last three. We also got 29 minutes out of Gary Trent last time out. This is like not insignificant news.
Now it's going to make some things shuffle around. I mean, the nice thing is Jericho Sims is center only. There's only so much center only interest I can have on somebody who's 4K and not really a good fantasy producer. He had one really good game, and I don't really care about one really good game. I care about your rates and what is going to potentially happen in the future here. And Jericho Sims, he can play 30 minutes and do absolutely nothing. But yeah, he's viable, I suppose. Now, the one that's interesting to me is definitely Gary Trent, where we could see some positive regression in the 3-point department. It has not been pretty in a lot of these spots, but he's got good positionality. So I think shooting guard, small forward for him, that's fascinating. But also maybe we get a mix up here of the starting lineup, because Milwaukee, they are brutality here at the moment. There is no question about that. I think Jericho Sims definitely the most likely guy, but wouldn't shock me for them to bring somebody else in and move it around.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it could very easily be Gary Trent. I think they'll keep Sims. He's not a great per minute dude. I just gave it a quick update on my side.
Dude, Jaylen Brown's going to get to go up against Kyle Kuzma for all of these minutes. This is just going to be so lovely. Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Sims is like a solid value, but to me, pretty significantly behind Dwop Reith right now.
Agreed.
Actually, at $700 more expensive.
Just not a good fantasy producer. Not with New York, not here, not ever.
No. So let me try this again. Last time I tried to do this, we got no AJ Green. This time, I'll just tell you guys to go download the Tails app. The link is in the description of this video. Whether you're looking for sports bets, pick'em cards, DFS coverage. I've been posting my contenders there on the DFS side, my tiers rankings, not like DraftKings tiers, but ranking these guys in tiers. That's the type of stuff that I've been putting up there. Eric's posting bets constantly. You could subscribe directly to Eric if you wanted to, and I would highly recommend it. But if you download the app, it costs you nothing. Totally free. You could peruse the free picks feed, follow individuals at no cost. If you determine you want to subscribe to somebody, that is up to you. People have paid packages there, but they aren't required. The thing we want the most from you guys, if you can do it, to download the app, to leave a rating and a review if possible, helps us out a ton. We're trying to get to 1,000 by the time we get to Christmas. And the easiest way for us to do that is for you guys to help us out. So if you don't mind, head to the App Store on whatever phone you've got, download the Tails app, and follow us. Get the goods. All right. Anybody that we haven't talked about yet that is popping up for you? I'm looking at my exposures now. I've mentioned that I'm very interested in Cam Johnson. He's in half my lineups at this moment. I don't really see any other names that stand out to me. I guess I should mention one that's important. I have one share of Dwop Reith.
I have 40% of Bobby Portis.
Okay. Definitely haven't said his name. Don't think it's crazy, especially now.
Yeah. So power forward, obviously him, Derek Queen, very useful kind of stuff there, but he's been getting a lot done in some limited minutes, I would say. And, 23 minutes against Detroit, against Philly, continues to put up fantasy points. And he's always been kind of the guy when you've had Giannis out that we've automatically turned to. Now, it's a different situation with Miles Turner there now. It's a different situation with Kyle Kuzma in a starting lineup there as well. But one thing's for sure, he can offensively do a lot more than a lot of these guys. And he can do a little bit of everything where, yeah, they're going to have Rollins and they're going to have Kevin Porter Jr. out there a ton, and they're going to still eat up the usage, but they also create quite a bit. And I think there's something to be said about 5,200 Bobby Portis on this slate, Josh, where like he kind of feels like the forgotten guy. His price really hasn't gone anywhere since Giannis got ruled out. He was like 64, 6,300. And as he continues to not start, I get that there's some kind of a cap, it would seem, on his minutes, that they're not encouraged to just play him a boatload, but like he can do so much for a ceiling on 5,200 that if he's going to show up in sub 15% of people's lineups, that's just a guy that in this game environment where I'm playing Jaylen Brown, playing Kevin Porter Jr. to some extent, even though I'm not jamming him by any means, just one of those gross feelings that I get where I can't believe I'm clicking on him at 7,600. But there are opportunities there. And I think a massive ceiling of 40 burger or 45 burger on 5,200 is not just well within the range of outcomes, but something that I think is just way underrepresented by his ownership.
That's an interesting shout on Bobby Portis. And he's certainly somebody that I want to look into and maybe bump those minutes, given he got 30 3 games ago. I don't think that was like the most rousing defense of Bobby Portis, but usually we have a rousing defense of certain guys. I think we call it the nuke of the night. The floor is yours, sir. It is time for the nuke of the night. It doesn't seem like it's going to be Bobby Portis. I think he'll be in the bunker, but maybe not the guy pressing the button. Who's pressing the button?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to trim down some of that ownership. That's a little bit aggressive. I think I had him put him in. We only have him in for 23 minutes, and he is popping up a ton for me. So there's a ceiling that I think could exist there. Let's just go to the New Orleans side of things. I know he's pulling a lot of ownership. I know I try to give you like a contrarian piece, but like Derek Queen, if they're going to start a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of like 6'6" dudes, how the fuck does Derek Queen fail here? He does everything on a basketball floor. He's young. Foul trouble is probably more than likely the path to him not succeeding here. But if they don't put a center out there, this could just get so nutty for him. We've seen the assist rate just balloon. I don't love having Jordan Poole back into the mix. I don't love that he's coming off of a 69 burger, and I don't love that he's pulling ownership, but he's not pulling enough ownership right now, in my opinion. Derek Queen, 6,900. Nice. Nuke of the night.
A 69 burger, eh?
Mm-hmm. 69 hundo. It's all lining up, baby, for him to fuck us.
Must be nice. Love a 69 burger.
It's always good. Never bad.
Yeah. Rarely bad.
I love my wife.
She ain't listening to me this time, is she?
she is not. No, dude, sure. She did one of these when you said that. I was like, oh man. I was like, yeah, Josh doesn't care. You're gonna have to just deal with it in the same room.
It's like when we were on vacation. It was just like I was sitting at the living room table of the house that we were at, and like our friends were out of the house, so Katie was just sitting on the couch reading, and it was during the strategy show, and I told somebody that they should cut their fingers off so they can't type anymore, and she was just like, "What?"
Josh,
I was like, "Well, what? I mean, that's the only way to make them stop typing."
It's good advice, really. It's just doing best thing available. Oh, it's so good.
So I've alluded to it throughout the day. I'm going to hit it here now. I love Cam Johnson in this spot. I think Sacramento is straight gutter trash. I don't think that they're going to be able to defend in any way tonight. And as long as the ball gets into Jokic's hands, he's going to find someone that's open. And then it all comes down to making the shots. And given the fact that he's an exceptional three-point shooter, I'm hoping that he could find himself some extra looks. He's feeling extra cutty today. He can get some extra layups as well. But shooting guard, 5,300, a guy whose name is just really not going to get said today in any way. I think he's got a lot more upside given this matchup. So, Cam Johnson, nuke of the night.
It's a good one.
By the way, and whatever the hell I gave out yesterday, I think was LeBron, and he was incredible. So,
yeah,
game me. 2 for 2.
I ended up breaking even on a slate. I thought I was going to make money, and it was all, oh yeah, LeBron James just smashed and I had 0. So pain.
LBJ, baby. Gets up for those games that people watch.
Yeah, that they lose by 20 anyway. It's great.
Yeah, that part I didn't need. I had bets on the Lakers.
It's not fun.
No, it's not. It's not at all. All right. Have we done any? I assume we have an update recently. We do. Came in 2 minutes ago. So I'm going to fire off one last contest sim, and we'll see where we stand before you and I dip out of here, because you and I are leaving at 7:30. The slate locks at 8. But we are going to be live on this channel. It's just not going to be an NBA conversation. NFL Live before lock coming up next. Bucks and some other team that I don't know. The Falcons, right?
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's I let you in on a little inside baseball for this. So my wife's boss, the owner of her company, lives in Tampa. So her and the company are going to the game tonight. And from what I understand, they are all going to be dressed in the creamsicle Mike Evans jersey tonight. Now, this company is like, I don't know how many people are there. Let's just say somewhere in like the 10-ish to 15 range.
Mm-hmm.
I'd guess like if it's 10, it's 8 women. If it's 15, it's like 12 women. It's just going to be this sea of women all wearing Mike Evans jerseys. Like, I don't know if he's married or not, but his wife's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, did he fly out like a gaggle of women?
A lot of kids. Yeah, his wife is really cool from what I understand too.
It's just a really cool. Women that don't know anything. They don't know who Mike Evans is, and they're all dressed up as Mike Evans.
That's fantastic. That's actually really fantastic. That'll
be. Hey, do you know what position he plays? She's like, wide receiver. Like, you said that like it's a question.
Because it was, but also that's awesome. So she's in Tampa for that. That's fantastic. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah. So if we need to like. I said it earlier today, and I'll say it again. If we need to pull any like Buffalo Wild Wings type stuff to try to get that first TD, last TD situation, take somebody out if we need to.
Yeah, it's my showdown lineups have been dead the last 2 weeks after one quarter. It would seem like, between getting away from running backs, the Vidal and Hampton situation on Sunday, played so much of that showdown slate, and wish I had not. That is for sure. There's just been some interesting runouts here lately, but we have McMillan in the mix now too. Egbuka's been terrible. Godwin's playing more. I mean, the wide receiver position is definitely the thing that I'm the most interested to hear Laffy and Greg break down here on the show after this. So I'll keep it running, and it's a cluster F over there. That's for sure.
The 3 highest owned plays on today's slate are 60% owned Denny Avdija, 45% owned Jeremy Grant, 45% owned Dwap Breathe.
Wow.
And if we want to open it up, 4 of the top 5, if we include Shaden Sharp at 36% ownership, that right there is terrifying. But 2 MPEs, reasonable price tag on, 3 MPEs, reasonable price tag on Dwap Breathe, and a matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans team that's not that great. Who hurts us from Portland? Someone does. At least one someone does.
Who hurts you? Dwap Breathe is definitely the guy who's going to hurt me. If he's not in the starting lineup here, and we know they don't like to play him, but my thing is that, like, I'm not going to play 100% of Dwap Breathe. That's for damn sure. But I'm going to play a boatload of him if he's not starting in this spot. And he's still only 3,300. So, like, how much could it actually hurt me if a very, very popular Dwap Breathe puts up 15 or 10? Like, it's not gonna bludgeon me. I think the guy
it's not going to stop you from cashing. That's the big thing that I think people miss in these situations. When you overplay these cheapies, that's not going to stop that lineup from getting into the cash line. If they bust, it could stop you from winning.
Correct.
So, like, if you play a lot of Denny Avdija and he busts, you don't cash. Probably.
And that's probably who hurts us. His ownership has gone up throughout this show. And part of it is less of a need to play Joker, less of a need to play some of the other centers. And I mean, I'm not going to get to 59%, but I'm probably going to have a good portion of him where it would really, really hurt to not have him be serviceable at least. And, you know, I'm still going to try to find a way for Jaylen Brown. I'm still going to try to find a way to get a little bit of him sneaked in. I got basically none in my last run, but I'm pretty confident that he's going to be underrepresented no matter what. Might have to boost him up a little bit, but Denny Avdija probably hurts us.
It does feel weird that Shaden Sharp is the 5th most. Well, as of right now, it does feel weird to me that 2 of the 5 highest owned guys are not starting for Portland.
It's
maybe.
Fascinating. Yeah.
Like, obviously we're going to know that soon enough, but
Yep.
You don't see that typically.
No. But they probably both close. Like, I guess Reith doesn't have to, but Shane Sharp certainly does.
You would think.
So.
Oh, Rich has Reith projected to start. Excellent.
That's my man. That's my guy. Thank you.
If he's starting, those minutes won't change. Good to know. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate that.
He does, in fact, end up not starting Daniel Trap. But yeah, I'm going to play a lot either way. So here we are. Here we go.
So we got a couple minutes yet before you and I dip out of here. NFL strategy or NFL Live Before Lock is going to be starting up as we dip out. Different stream, so make sure you find it. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here? You want to tell the people where to find you, and then we dip out so the NFL guys can get started?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm Eric Lindquist. You can follow me as Lindy over on Tails. You can follow me on X at Eric Lindquist as well. Firing up a ton of free content as well as VIP content behind the paywall. Really, really, really interesting couple of NBA days. It's been a little bit slower, but it is about to pick up in a very real way. Going to have some prize picks and underdog here as well as after I get on this. Built out a couple of things over in the corner that I have as placeholders, but constantly just updating throughout the day. Get Lindy's leans, likes, and last stuff over to the VIP as early as possible, then record, then gets released to the masses. So come get the best number. Come jump behind that paywall.
There we go, everybody. Reminder, you've got 32 and a half minutes to go until we get to lock. We are about to get all of the information. We've gotten some of it, but starting lineups should start trickling in the next few minutes. Everything will hit the updates on the site. And then we're going to sim our way to victory today. And wait it out for the 10 o'clock start of Nuggets and Kings. That's all I got, man. I think we've covered this pretty well for what we have.
We had a lot of Keon Ellis questions at the very tail end. I saw somebody just ask if you had any final thoughts about that. Not starting Keon Ellis is obviously riskier and not a great feeling, but how much were you planning on playing? Because he is completely unowned right now.
I think I have like 15% or something, which I'm fine with.
Yep, I think that's the right way. If you're playing one lineup, it is very, very risky to click on Keon Ellis for what it's worth. I just want you to
yeah. That's not a guy you should be taking a stand on. They don't like him. He could not play, and I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just insane, the fall from grace.
Folks, NFL Live Before Lock is coming up next. They are going to take you all the way to kickoff on the NFL side. It's Thursday Night Football, everybody. You do not want to miss it. For Eric, I'm Josh. Goodbye.